Good day. I'm al-Aziz, the owner and head instructor of Semper Fortis Jiu Jitsu here in San Antonio, Texas. I'm going to tackle this week's question of the week. It comes to me from one of my viewers who was traveling, and he went into a gym. He wanted to train while he was traveling, and I think they wanted $30 for a mat fee. And the person said, hey, I think that's unreasonable, and he didn't want to pay it, and I guess he didn't pay it, so he didn't train there. And so he sent the question in to me and asked me my thoughts on it. And I know my students may be surprised at my thoughts on it, because at my gym here in San Antonio, I don't charge mat fees for students that are visiting from out of town. If they're in town, as long as they have a good attitude, they can come in, they can train with me, and I don't charge them a mat fee. But that's because I live in a military transient town. I get a lot of military people here that are just here for a couple days or a week or so, and it's like, And then at first I was just doing it for the military, and then I just I'll just open it up for everybody. If you're in town visiting me visiting in San Antonio, you want to stop in and train, do some classes, I'm not charging it. So my students assumed that that's how I would feel about mat fees at other schools. However, when I was in the military, I would travel quite a bit, and I would stop in at schools and want to train while I was traveling. And I would gladly pay the mat fee. And I understand the concept of the mat fee, because despite what you'll see on social media, running a martial arts school is not like a multi-million-dollar business where you're making a lot of money. Most martial arts school owners are, they're not living the high life. Oftentimes, they have a full-time job in addition to the school that they own. The profit margins just aren't as glorious as people seem to think they are. And the expenses are crazy. I'm in a strip mall here. It's a 2,000 square foot place, and they charge me for rent like about $3,300 a month, and then another couple $100 a month for insurance, another couple $200-300 for electricity. There's a lot of expenses, and the profit margins just aren't that great. So I support gyms that are going to ask for a mat fee, and I gladly pay them. When I travel, it's I want to support your business. And, one person commented, it's look, you're teaching the class anyways, why does it, what's one extra student? You're going to teach the class anyway, you should just let that one extra student come in and, train for free. And I thought, man, first thing I thought is the jiu-jitsu community is full of freeloaders. People that just don't want to pay, and they think any price is just too much. Just them gracing you with their presence should be more than enough. And I was like, what other aspect of society can you approach with that attitude? I mean, you're going to teach anyways, might as well teach me for free. Well, show up, to a football game like Dallas Cowboys when they do their season opener against whoever. And if it's not sold out, just let the dude at the gate know, hey, I just like that seat that's not sold, and I'd like to sit in it for free, because, hey, they're going to play the football game anyways. Or, show up to a Bruno Mars or a Rolling Stones concert, and if it's not sold out, just be like, yeah, I would like to just come in for free, because they're going to sing the concert anyways, and I'd just like to take up that space. It's not, that nobody bought for free. Or, pop into Gold's Gym. On a time where it's not very busy, and be like, hey, your gym's not very busy. I don't want to pay for membership or whatever to come in. The weights are sitting there anyways. Why don't you just let me come in here and lift for free? It's what other part of society, operates it like that? I should just be able to do it for free because whatever. Or I heard people say, oh, those jiu-jitsu schools, they're greedy. It's why don't you take a look at your payroll, whatever your boss pays you every month, and just go in and let them know, hey, I think you're paying me a little bit too much. I'd like you to pay me a little bit less, because I'm really not contributing that much to the company, and I don't need that much. I can get by with a 25% pay reduction. Nobody does that. But you hear people say that about jiu-jitsu school. Oh, you're just being busy. You're just being greedy. It's no, man, they're just trying to make a living like you're trying to make a living. So, do I think mat fees are greedy? No, I think they're reasonable. Just because I don't charge mat fees at my school, I don't want my students to go travel to other schools thinking, hey, people are being greedy asking for mat fees. I just have a different business model than other people. And, so I support them in what they're doing. And I think when you go visit a school, you should support them. If they allow you to train with them, you should pay that mat fee. And if they don't want to pay, if they don't want a mat fee, buy some of their merchandise, leave them a good Google review. Give something back, not just what can you do for me? What can I do for you? How can I help you? Make it a two-way street. All right, that's the answer to this week's question of the week. Any insights or comments, feel free to fill it down below. And until next week, ciao.